Hello guys, welcome to my shop. Just wanted to make a small YouTube video about optical scales on milling machines because I've never seen one actually, and I thought it would be interesting to show how this system works. So basically, for those of you who doesn't know what we are talking about, optical scales is the kind of ancestor of the modern DROs without electronics. So here we have my little boring mill. So basically it's a horizontal milling machine, and you have on this axis, for example, you have that scale, but it doesn't matter. You have a scale here. No, this one, sorry. So let me grab a light. I'll show you what this is about. I have no idea if you can see it, but you can see the markings, you know? Yeah, just right there. You can see numbers. So every marking is 1 millimeter apart from each other. So we can see those markings in that screen here. This one actually. This is it's something optical, I don't know, there are mirrors and magnifier and that kind of thing. So this is the scale we just see here, and you have a second screen there with other numbers. So how does this work? You have two knobs here. One, the red one, is the zeroing knob, and this one is the setting knob for the small numbers. So when you get to your workpiece 0, let's say like this, sorry, let me crank it. Okay, it's moving, yeah. Done, we are at 0. We first have to put those numbers to 0 as well. So let me put it on 0, like this, okay. And then we have to set the two black marking there. We have to set a line between those two things, thanks to the red knob. So you do that like this, you rotate it, yeah, okay. That's kind of tricky, you have to be quite, yeah, it's perfect like this, okay. So now, this system is aligned with that scale, which means if we have to move whole millimeters, we can do it simply by adding millimeters to that number. So here we have 613 millimeters. If I want to go down, because I'm too high now, I cannot go higher anymore, so we have to go down. Let's say 13 millimeters. So I just turn the wheel. Alright, and you can see numbers moving, which is quite good. Okay, that's easy. Now, if you want to make a smaller displacement, for example, I don't know, 32 100th of a millimeter, higher, let's say, no, let's make it something easier. 10 millimeters higher and 30 100th of a millimeter. So we are at 0. We move 10 upwards. Right, like this. Oh, that's a bit too much. Yeah, it's not the best machine to do it. Like this. Wonderful. Then, only then, you add your decimals with this knob. So we want to move 30 100th of a millimeter. We select it, like this, 15, 20, like this, okay. Now maybe you noticed that that line here went down. So in order to reach 10 millimeters and 30 100th of a millimeter, we have to go a bit more further, and you just have to align on the previous marking, like this. And we moved from the right distance. So let's see, on this machine, sorry, there are 3 of these systems. So one on the Z-axis, or so-called Z-axis, one on the Y here, with a pretty big magnifier, and this one for the X. But this machine is very easy to handle, so we're gonna do that on the Deckel, because I have this is exactly the same system on the Deckel. So this is a Deckel FP3. I believe many of you guys know that kind of machine. German made. Awesome. I love it. So let me pour it up like this. Okay, so it's gonna be much more easier on this one. So on this system you have a button to power the lights, like this. So and there is a tempo inside that box that stays about 2 minutes. You can set it, but it doesn't matter. So look here on this scale. So this is the common scale that everybody knows. Now if I want to go in that direction, it moves, okay? And this one moves too. So let's say we will be at, I don't know, 160 for example. Like this. Let me do it again. Yep. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put it on 0 before. It's not mandatory, but it's best to do it, so it's, you don't have to make too much math. Like this. Okay, we are at 160. Let's say we want to go to, we want to move that axis to of I don't know, 40 millimeters and half a millimeter. So what you do, reach 200. 200, no, almost. You line up the 2 lines. Yeah, this is a bit tricky. You really have to pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, like this. And then you add half a millimeter here, like this. All right, and you simply align the lines again, and that's it. So this is for going to that direction. If you want to go backwards, it's exactly the same, except you have to change the way of doing it. So instead of putting it to 0, you have to put it on 100, like this. Yeah, okay, so you align everything again, like this, and then only you set the distance you want to move. I don't know, let's say 25, and you go backwards, aligning the lines again. See, and that's it. That's how it works on. That's how this system works. So basically, it's. I really like that system because it's cheap. It won't never fail, except maybe for there is only one light bulb inside. It's a very small light bulb of, if I remember correctly, it's 6 volt. You can still find those on Amazon and internet. Other than that, nothing can fail, except if you let your machine in your garden for, I don't know, 5 years, maybe the markings here won't be good anymore. Because this is a very light marking. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's engraved or I don't know. It's very you cannot feel them. Anyway, so we have on both 3 axes on this machine. It's very convenient when you want to move. You know, actually, it makes the math easier. You don't have to, you know, count the numbers of rotation plus. No, it's easy. Just seeing at the millimeters is already a big improvement, but this one is perfect as well. So you can it's much more easier, really. That's it, guys. Nice machine. When I first got the machine, I didn't know there were those optical scales in it. It's not crazy accurate like you can imagine. You can easily have 1 or 2 100th of a millimeter error with that system, but still it's pretty accurate and it makes things easier. It's not as best as a real DRO, but those are quite expensive, except if you go after Chinese made crap basically. But it's, yeah, that's it. On such a machine here that you don't have so many movements, it's only a few positioning movements, and then you drill, you bore, and so it doesn't really matter. And I won't scrub them. It's working too beautifully. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and maybe see you next time.